Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we're going to talk about the book of Leviticus. At a recent conference, I needed to get into a special area that was reserved for a select few. I talked with the security guard, I joked, I complimented, but nothing, nothing was going to get me into that area. That was until someone of authority came up and said, I don't care what his name tag says, you let him in. We all need this kind of help when it comes to the presence of God. God is holy and cannot tolerate anything unclean. So we need help to get into His presence. This is why we need to understand the main thing in the book of Leviticus. The book of Leviticus spans roughly 1 month. Again, this book is written by Moses. Now, the book of Leviticus is a challenge to read. It seems so long ago for people with very different expectations and challenges. It contains a thorough list of commands that lead to holiness, or we might say right standing with God. The book can be divided into 2 parts. Chapters 1 through 17 are all about sacrifice, while chapters 18 through 27 are all about sanctification, becoming more like God. The first 17 chapters are about the way to God and the laws of acceptable approach to Him. Chapters 18 and on are about walking with God and that lasting fellowship with Him. The main thing in Leviticus is holiness. In Leviticus 19, verse 2, God instructs Moses to tell the Israelites, "Be holy, because I, the Lord your God, am holy." But we know the problem. We can't be holy. We struggle with sin daily. So we need help just like I needed help that day at the conference. We cannot experience fellowship with God unless someone can make us clean. We cannot experience peace with God unless someone draws up the peace terms. No one can come to God except through the great high priest, Jesus Christ. Leviticus 21 provides specific instructions for the priests. Leviticus 21, beginning in verse 10 says, "The priest who is highest among his brothers, who has had the anointing oil poured on his head and has been ordained to wear the clothes, must not dishevel his hair or tear his clothes. He must not go near any dead person or make himself unclean even for his father or mother. He must not leave the sanctuary, or he will desecrate the sanctuary of his God. For the consecration of the anointing oil of his God is on him. I am the Lord." There was no person or thing that could actually live up to the call of the great high priest, except for Jesus Christ. The sacrificial system was a type or a foreshadowing of the permanent sacrifice to come. It was incapable of bringing forgiveness of sins. We find that in Hebrews chapter 10. You see, we needed help. Hebrews 4, beginning in verse 14 says, "Therefore, since we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast to our confession. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who has been tempted in every way as we are, yet without sin. Therefore, let us approach the throne of grace with boldness, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in time of need." The book of Leviticus is all about the holiness of God and our need for help in coming to God. That help is Jesus Christ. His holiness becomes our holiness. So here's my challenge for you today. Pursue holiness in His power. God's ways are truly best. There are ways that are honoring to God, helpful to our community, and beneficial for our lives. Those ways are God's ways, and we can live accordingly by being dependent upon His Word and His power. When we do this, friend, we will win the day.